Biochemistry. Protein structure and function. Protein structure and function is an important topic in biochemistry because proteins play a vital role in various biological processes. Proteins consist of long chains of amino acids that fold into specific three-dimensional shapes. Here is a detailed explanation of protein structure and function. 1. Protein structure. Protein structure is divided into 4 levels, namely, A. Primary structure. Primary structure refers to the sequence of amino acids in the polypeptide chain that forms a protein. This sequence is determined by the genetic information contained in DNA. The sequence of amino acids is very important because it determines the shape and function of the protein. Peptide bonds, covalent bonds between amino groups and carboxyl groups, connect amino acids to each other. B. Secondary structure. Secondary structure is the local folding pattern of the polypeptide chain. The main patterns in secondary structure are alpha helix, and beta sheet, which are formed by hydrogen bonds between the carbonyl group, C equals O, and amino group, NH, of separate amino acids. This structure helps the protein to become more stable. C. Tertiary structure. Tertiary structure is the complete three-dimensional folding of the polypeptide chain. At this level, interactions between amino acid side chains, such as hydrogen bonds, ionic bonds, disulfide bonds, and hydrophobic interactions, produce the functional three-dimensional shape of the protein. This tertiary structure is important for the biological activity of the protein, such as binding to substrates or interacting with other molecules. D. Quaternary structure. Some proteins are composed of more than one polypeptide chain, subunit. Quaternary structure refers to the way these protein subunits interact with each other and function together to form a functional protein. For example, hemoglobin is a protein composed of 4 subunits, 2 alpha subunits and 2 beta subunits, that work together to bind oxygen. 2. Protein functions. Proteins have a variety of important functions in the body. Some of the main functions of proteins are: A. Catalysis of biochemical reactions, enzymes. Most proteins function as enzymes, which are molecules that speed up chemical reactions in the body without being permanently changed. Enzymes reduce the activation energy required to start a reaction, allowing the reaction to proceed more quickly. Examples of important enzymes include amylase, which converts starch to sugar, and DNA polymerase, which is involved in DNA replication. B. Structure and support. Proteins also play a role in the formation of body structures. Collagen, for example, is a protein that provides strength and elasticity to skin, bones, and connective tissue. Keratin is a protein that makes up hair, nails, and the outer layer of skin. C. Transport. Some proteins function to transport molecules or ions across cell membranes or in the blood. Hemoglobin, for example, is a protein that transports oxygen in the blood, while albumin plays a role in the transport of fatty acids and hormones. D. Defense, immunity. Antibodies or immunoglobulins are proteins that function to detect and neutralize pathogens such as viruses and bacteria. They bind to specific antigens present on pathogens and aid in their destruction. E. Storage. Some proteins function as a reserve resource for the body. Ferritin, for example, is a protein that stores iron in the body, while casein in milk is a protein that stores amino acids for mammalian babies. F. Movement. Proteins also play a role in muscle contraction and cell movement. Actin and myosin are two major proteins involved in muscle contraction. Other proteins, such as tubulin, form the structure of microtubules that are important in the movement of organelles and cells. G. Regulation. Some proteins function as regulators of cellular processes, namely, 1. Receptor proteins on the cell membrane regulate the cell's response to external signals, such as hormones or neurotransmitters. 2. Transcription proteins, such as transcription factors, regulate gene expression by controlling the process of DNA transcription into RNA. H. Cell signaling and communication. Proteins are also involved in communication between cells through signaling systems. For example, G proteins are proteins involved in cellular signals triggered by ligands, such as hormones, that bind to cell receptors. Conclusion. The structure and function of proteins are highly dependent on the sequence of amino acids that form them. Each level of protein structure, from primary to quaternary, determines its form and function. Proteins are essential in almost every aspect of cellular life in the organism as a whole, whether in biochemical reactions, cell structure, transportation, body defense, movement, or communication between cells.